This is Atlas Thug. As much as we have, it's currently a media blackout right now. It's about a 10-minute video here. Get the libertarians out of this party, dude. Part of a new series I'm going to be running called Bot or Not.
I grew up as a white man, and you're the exact opposite, you know?
It's time we have a difficult conversation about race.
40 IQ points it needs to think about what is being told to you.
Most people are just blatantly apathetic to what goes on around in their surroundings, let alone this blatantly.
A trans woman's penis make you gay?
Tried to find the answer to that comment.
The dating market is for men your age. I'm not a misogynist, I'm a sexist. Right, like for example, like as a white man, I can go out and I could go right here in Columbus and scream the N-word as loud as I wanted to because I have that privilege. Those who would sacrifice a little freedom for a little convenience serves neither.
Titan says, Browns should be for whites. We were just trying to help them run a better empire.
Hey, truth.
But she's like, stock market. She's like, bro, like, I can't even buy a fucking house. Like,
and, probably doesn't help that half the comments are, oh, you're not banned on YouTube. Man, how is this guy? How's this guy not banned on YouTube? It's like, yeah, I'm sure YouTube probably picks up on those things. And they're probably wondering why so many people are saying that,
and all these top brass pundits who have some kind of association or relationship with Epstein, it's getting to the point where you got to think like I'm about to go look at my residential history and be like, did I live next to Epstein for like some time? Like, man, everyone on this planet must have some relation to Epstein. And then you go, oh, actually, no. This is because the administration is all wrapped in together with it themselves.
and I said this maybe about a year ago, what if Christianity wasn't in such a cucked position that what if Andrew Tate, like Tristan, would have went to a Christian position? Fell for it again award, #1 right here. And you know what? I can't even make fun of the audience because I fell for it too. And that's probably what I'm most pissed about. He's huffing some extreme copium. Oh yeah, sister, you definitely owned him. Hey, can I see you after tonight? It's like that's that's what you're competing up against because or bad jacketing him and calling him a weird little gay.
Is this like alt-right Wolf's husband? What am I listening
Yeah.
Okay, stop it. This guy's gonna get into statistics, stuff like that.
Oh, not statistics, not
So-
we don't do statistics.
Sorry for the wait, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Offensively Accurate, hosted by yours truly, Atlas Thug. Man, today was a doozy. I meant to stream a few hours ago. I'll save you all the drama. I'm testing a lot of new things right now, testing the limits of my new PC that I've built with my bare hands. So please let me know any issues at all, any audio issues, any technical issues. Please let me know when I get this cleaned up. So with that out of the way, we're going to be a bit more casual today. I am so behind on what I should have been read up for, but we still got a good show for you. We're going to start with some funny bits, and we'll get into a bit more of the serious news. I think, as it sits right now, we have a few major things. The title of the show is What Happened to Trump, and that is because we did get a kind of wild moment last night, which I think could be probably attributed to a slow news day. Who knows? Maybe there's a push happening. But what happened to Trump? Trump is dying, Trump is dead was trending. And this was being pushed by people like the Krasenstein brothers, who no one can stand on planet Earth. This is being pushed by that Evan Loves Wharf account that is AstroTurf to hell and back. And it turned out that it was not true, or at least as it seems. White House ended up posting, it was like a golfing video or a photo from Trump. Aiden Ross even came in and confirmed that he had confirmation, Aiden Ross of all people. But he got confirmation on a kick stream. It was kind of a wild moment. But beyond there, we got a big news story that is probably fallen a little bit to the wayside, largely because we had the trans shooter incident. Now, this story is going to be the main featured story of tonight, and that is the fact that there were, I think it was about 100,000 emails that were leaked between Ehud Barak and Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the reason we're going to have this as a featured story is because the current position from the U.S. administration, as well as some of the clips we got from Ghislaine Maxwell and others, is the idea that there's no ties to intelligence. Epstein worked for the U.S., backed up by Peter Thiel himself, which we'll get into. Again, it's a lot more of the fact that your government will do anything to protect pedophiles. The elites that rule over you are disgusting scum. And this is a battle of good versus evil. This is a battle of Christ versus anyone that's not Christ. This is a battle of anything that is of value and positive versus anything that is evil and wishes to destroy. So with a few things out of the way, I do have to say big shout out to as well the Zeb Boykin and Josh Vandernoord. They run and operate the show outside the Overton. They're down there in South Carolina with Uncensored America. They got a few more bits in. Again, Undercover Goy, Undercover Groyper, whatever you want to call it, strikes again. He had another moment with Myron, which is funny because it seems that everyone's kind of getting the idea of who this guy is now, which is cool. And again, I will push that one more time. I think Josh needs to change his channel name, and his pseudonym needs to be Undercover Goy. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Josh needs to change his name to Undercover Goy. I think he'd get a lot further doing that, even if it is a little bit gimmicky. And beyond that, obviously Myron killed it there, but they had woman propaganda on their show. I thought it was awesome. It was a great moment. And I even reached out to Woman Propaganda a few weeks ago, and hopefully I can get him on the show, use my connection with Zeb, wink, wink, and we'll get him on here too. And we can talk some trash about whores and Indians and, you know, and I think with that though too, they had some good moments. It was a good stream. So shout out to them. They're trying to get out of a live stream ban because Tucker Carlson, I believe, attacked them. Not Tucker Carlson, forgive me. It was the trans shooter stuff. They were covering material. They're not big enough. They're not allowed. They talk too much stuff about people who have influence in government, and therefore you shall be struck. So shout out to those guys as well. There's a few smaller stories we can get into. Ultimately, I don't want to drag them through because I don't know too much about them. Again, I didn't have much time to check on a lot of things. But there were 3 big ones. I'll kind of run through, actually 4 kind of major ones. There was, alongside the leaked emails, it turns out that Wikimedia, what houses Wikipedia, is being under federal investigation for anti-Semitism. So lovely stuff. Yeah, that's the thing that's plaguing this country. It's sad. Beyond that, though, we did get a cool moment from Bishop Barron, who slammed the Minneapolis mayor who made these ridiculous comments that prayer doesn't work ultimately, and he slammed him, basically saying, Jesus was praying to God as he died on the cross. What the hell are you talking about? Basically a more base version of, hey, I'm not going to take talking points from a non-Christian. Get out. And I think he might be Jewish too, but of course they all are. Anyways, beyond that, we had the Ethan Klein and the pedo troll. It turns out the Ethan Klein has kind of halfway admitted to operating a Reddit account named Pedo Troll, which obviously was posting pro-Israeli and weird, obviously, child content that nobody likes, nobody wants to see. So he basically halfway admitted to it on 2 hands. On one hand, he's like, well, I did run the account, but everything's a big joke and don't take it too seriously. And it's like, we'll definitely do that. And then another story that's not been getting picked up by a lot, which might be news to you guys as well. Aaron Cohen, who? Yep, Cohen, you know exactly where that name comes from. He reported on a new AI system called Gideon that I was able to catch just a little bit of. I've not seen too many of the big pundits who I follow cover it, so we'll explore it a little bit. But again, like I said earlier, got annihilated with time today, guys. So again, this is going to be a bit more casual than it normally is. And definitely smash the like button or the mods will ban you. That's just the way it is. We will sniff you out. We will hunt you down. We will find who is consuming this free content on YouTube and not smashing the like button. So with that, let's get into a little bit of the Undercover Groyper striking again. Now, the one thing I do have to say too, a complete disavow. For those who don't know and didn't see the stream, it turns out that Woman Propaganda is 5'7". His invite has been officially revoked. I cannot speak to men under 6 foot. I'm just messing. But I thought that was funny. I hope Steve is in here too, Mr. Splenda. He's like a resident short king in the Discord. But I thought that was pretty funny. It blows me away how small people can be in person, to be quite honest with you. But no, that's kind of a funny moment. And so what we are going to do though, I'm going to pull this over and I'm going to switch screens here in just a second, but we are going to play the clip of Mr. Undercover Goy addressing Myron. And there's a couple other pieces from Myron we'll cover before we get into the main kind of story. But I did want to make sure I definitely covered this too. And also I want to say too, I forgot to turn the TTS on. So I'm going to have to read with my very bad and like nasally high pitched voice all of the super chats that come in. I'm just messing, guys. It's been a long day. Okay. So swinging it over, this is going to be from Josh Vandernoort himself, posting the clip here from Myron. Let's go ahead and take a listen and make sure the audio is okay. And again, guys, spam the chat, yell, scream, call out Jewish power, whatever you have to do, get my attention, and I will get the audio adjusted. So with that, here's the clip. And it's not capturing it. 1 second, guys. Everything got switched over. And just bear with me for just 1 second. I promise you, I'm not Zeb. I am not Worrell. We will get this figured out in 2 seconds. And just like that, there we go. We have audio. Okay, let's play this clip.
No worries.
Aloha, Myron. How are you?
Shalom.
So, Myron, you are directly responsible for spreading anti-Semitic rhetoric online. You constantly put down the Jewish people, but very rarely do you recognize the accomplishments that they have brought to society. They've been extremely influential in promoting homosexual rights, in unlocking women's potential by liberating them from their oppressive male counterparts. They are directly responsible for the central banking system and the economy that we have today. During the bubonic plague, they were extremely influential in spreading awareness of it, and they did it quite well. So my question to you, Myron, is where would you be today without us?
It's a good question. That'd be a good question. I don't know. I'd probably have a lot.
The thing is like he kind of gets the whole spiel now at this. Everybody knows who he is. I mean, that's why I think Josh needs to carry it. Obviously, Myron knew he was a fake. Some people still are kind of getting confused by it because Josh does too well of a job of dressing up as a Jewish individual. We got a super chat in here from Titan. He says, "Us short guys live longer." Man, let's make that a bit bigger. Is that how you guys be looking at these super chats? Let me make this a bit bigger. Oh no, and it's framing out too. So many things are going to need to get adjusted. We'll get to it. We will figure it out. But yes, short people probably do live longer. No, they definitely do live longer. It's because it's less strain on the heart to pump the blood all around the body when you're much bigger. Thank you for that, Titan. I appreciate it very much, brother. But this is kind of the gimmick, right? It's I think Josh needs to lean into it. I think he's kind of got something here. And one thing that I wanted to say too, as I was looking at some of the people who are clipping it, right? So you have some top guys. You have Kaguya's Top Gal. You have Kaiser Rev. You have Fuentes Updates. You have all these good ones. Charging's a really good one on X. They're phenomenal clippers. And as I was looking from all of the uncensored events, because Nick hasn't had a stream in a couple of days, so they're going to clip Myron. Myron's Myron's like option number 2, and there's no Nick clips. Go with Myron. They ended up, out of the 4 kind of big clips, or really it's kind of 5, I guess, that came from this Myron Gaines event, the one with Josh specifically was the one that had the most likes, the most impressions, the most engagement. I think he's got to lean into it. He has to. But anyways, I thought that was funny. And I just wanted to make sure I got him on air here too. But yeah, Myron basically addresses the question. He knows it's a gimmick there at that point. But Myron did kill on a couple other avenues. The second one that caught my attention that Myron did a fantastic job of was when the 16-year-old black guy came up and talked to him. So this one you guys might not have seen because it's a bit out of our kind of element here. But this is what we ended up getting, and I'll put it on screen here again. There it is. So it says, this is a 16-year-old black king asks Myron why black women are the least desirable. Now, the kid's got a good head on his shoulders. And it is funny. So it's about 2.5 minutes long, but let's go ahead and let it rip. And let's take a listen to this. And hopefully this sounds okay on this too.
Why are black bitches?
That is so loud. That probably just blew people's eardrums out, and I'm so sorry for that.
The least desired choice to select from men as a whole.
Oh man, the alley-oop, let's go.
Nah.
Well, just being honest, bro, it's a multitude of different factors, right?
Crass, arrogant, annoying.
Yeah. And then another one that no one wants to talk about is like, black women tend to be fat, man. Like they don't fucking work out. Like they don't work out because the weave and like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of them don't work out. And like the average black woman's 187 pounds.
The average woman is like 5'5", 5'4", 187 pounds.
Bro, this is like a fact. Like they literally, this is like they're 5'4", 5'3", 187 pounds,
Fat
which
as
is
fuck.
literally obese. So it's like, you know, it's just a multitude of different things, man. The culture's fucked up. The not an attention to, you know, health and going to the gym, being rude, being loud, being obnoxious. Like this is all like valued in our society, which is unfortunate. And like, hopefully we can get guys to like, you know, change, wake up, and then tell women like, yo, this is not acceptable behavior. You can't behave like this.
Because it hurts me as a black young man seeing the multitude of grown black women behave and conduct themselves in such manner. So it was a genuine question though.
Yeah, no, it's a problem. It's a huge fucking problem. And you know,
Sit hair plugs. Yeah, I've seen some pretty rough images of Myron's scalp, but let's chill. Bald. Happens to everybody, man. It's what happens when you have testosterone higher than levels of your average 12-year-old female.
it's funny because if you talk to like women from Africa, they're not like that.
They're not.
You know what I mean? Like Nigerian chicks or whatever, you meet them.
It's the Western civilization that acts majority like that.
Yes, it's an American woman problem a lot of the times, unfortunately. So yeah, dude, we got a toxic fucking culture here, man. When it comes to the black community, selling drugs, being obnoxious, twerking, being an idiot, you know, destroying the English language with ebonics, not getting educated, not having good jobs, selling drugs. It's just ridiculous, and we really need to like push back against this bullshit and be like, you know what, man? We don't want to listen to bullshit hip hop anymore. Like Young Thug, and the funny part is like they sell you guys a facade. It just came out like the other day. Like Young Thug, like literally was cooperating with the cops.
That's kind of the main gist of that clip, though. I thought it was pretty cool seeing a 16-year-old kid come up. You know, pattern recognition is not liked by anybody. Nobody likes that kind of level of pattern recognition. But it is funny. You talk shit about a black woman, I'm there. I will be right there beside you. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hate anybody. But the point is true, and I think some of those statistics kind of blow me away. You know, when I saw the statistic of, you know, they were asking Grok, Gab AI, they were going deep into like DeepSeek AI. They were getting all the LLMs together, and they were trying to figure out if there's been one single instance of sexual assault or rape, really, from a white male to black females, and it's like none. Like there's been zero since 2021, and like that blows me away. Because it's such a disparity. You would think there'd be some, right? You'd think that you'd see like 12 or 14 or like some number. You would think, but zero for 4 years? That crazy. And I think it was, and I might have covered on this a little while ago too, but I believe right now as it sits in this country, black women are more capable or more likely to commit murder than the average white man. Now, truth be told, that goes hand in hand with the fact that the majority of men are consuming industrial poison given to them by, you know, the FDA and everything that's allowed through HHS. So there is an element of that to it too. But ultimately, I think that's very indicative of some changes need to be happening there. But that was funny. There is a highlight reel which covers this a bit better. We're just going to go ahead and rip through that. But I wanted to give Myron his flowers for this because I thought he did a great job once again. And I would love to be able to get Myron on the show at some point. I think that's a bit further away. But that is one thing too. You know, I mean, I've got a few more interviews coming up, lined up through the coming weeks. It is nice to see you, Marcus. What is up, brother? Appreciate you being in here. We have a couple things coming up, a couple smaller people, but also I do plan on trying to reach out to Beardson, which I will be doing shortly. It's just been a crazy weekend, a crazy week in general. But Beardson, Mocephalus, Ryan Dawson, Ian Carroll, Thomas Rousseau from Patriot Front, Dave Riley, and Cameron, both from the Backlash. So there's some big people we will be reaching out to have on the show a bit more. But on the same hand, I would like to be able to do some more of these solo live streams and cover things in a bit, broader direction like that too. But here's the highlight reel. We'll rip this one and we'll kind of move on from there. If I can't find it. Good Lord. There we go. All right, let's let it rip. This is a highlight reel and it is pretty funny. Let's go.
Hi, I don't know your name, but what's your name?
What was that?
What's your name?
Hitler.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're gonna have to turn down the music if you want me to continue to insult you.
Number one, women are dumb. They need to be second-class citizens. Blacks are crooks. Jews run America. Indians stink. Chinese are good with math. Trans should be in asylums and away from guns and away from our kids. Gays should not be able to adopt children. And Title IX is a scam. Hey, I will say this. You got fatter since last time. Might want to exercise a little bit. I know school just started. The gyms are probably open. Let's be honest here. A lot of you guys are coming up to the mic right now to simp for some of these women here to try to get fucking laid. Let me say something great about women so I can get fucked tonight. Women want guys that are better than them. Women want guys that are stronger than them, taller than them, superior to them. They don't want equal, cucked out guys like you sitting here saying, oh yeah, women's rugby is great, right? Right? Right?
I love
Nobody
your
gives
opinion.
a fuck.
I just wanted to understand your understanding of the role of women in society.
Women's role in society is to have kids, have families, be in the kitchen making delicious sandwiches. I'm a big proponent of putting women back in the kitchen.
Although we haven't been doing much talking about that. You've been doing your rage bait stuff mostly. But
well, remember, people ask me questions like they're coming up and.
What
was that?
I said I was still talking. You interrupted me.
Yeah, but you got to understand also that this is my shit, not yours. Okay, so.
Okay.
Darla Moore is the founder and funder of our business school. She funded.
Is she a Jew?
What?
Can we look? Could somebody do an early life for me real quick?
That one was even more funny because it's just like, dog, who gives a like, I don't care what woman did what. Back to the kitchen. And it's funny because it's like these are all of my policy positions. Myron's just ripping off my policy platform. Like these are fantastic things. I'd vote for this. Myron gains for president 2028.
It's not symmetrical whatsoever, and you're just bombing and killing a bunch of people. This is why it's a genocide going on. And this is why nobody likes Israel.
But nobody likes you clearly. So I mean, it's like,
dude, you're Jewish.
I just told you what it was, and then you changed your number, saying that you should change your number, saying that it was zero. Saying it was zero civilians.
All right, Jew. Let's move to the next person.
You're a coward.
Nobody cares, you. Get out of here. No one gives a fuck. Fuck Israel. Jews create a lot of problems.
Do you eat ass?
It's funny.
No. I don't even think guys should lick vagina. If we're gonna be honest, I think eating box is terrible. Men shouldn't do it. We don't lick vagina over here. Women are inferior to us. They suck dick and make sandwiches. That's how it goes.
So you think that women should only pleasure men?
That's their job.
So her job is to basically cook, clean, and sexually please you.
Yes. So if you're supposed to sit there and put your life on the line for a fucking woman, she better suck some goddamn dick. It's fucking crazy.
Do you eat pussy? Is that?
I just said a second ago. No, that's.
Oh, you don't?
Never.
Why was this like the
no
most
guy should be
asked
doing
question
it.
of the event?
None of you guys should be eating vagina, dude.
like Myron's like clearly trying to like do a bit more than, dude. I think that this is probably what really triggered the woman, dude. They were like, what? No reciprocation? He better have a good answer why he ain't. Dude. It's so dumb. It's all these menial, like neurotic things. It's hilarious.
And if you guys do like to do it, that means you're probably a faggot, to be honest.
That's so real.
The only way we'll
Charlie wishes he had a base bone in his body. Charlie does not have a base bone in his body, dog. This guy had a price and it was much lower than mine. That is for sure. Like I don't even think I have a price, but Lord, yeah, Charlie's based in no way. He galvanizes no man. And if any man looks at Charlie Kirk and feels empowered, then they have mental issues.
advance or be better or get tired of all this bigotry and hatred is the fact
Bigotry
that
is
if we
good.
work together.
Bigotry is good.
Why?
Because it identifies problems a lot of the time, so you can recognize pattern and then, put yourself in a position where it's like, damn, I'm walking down the street right now, it's 4 black guys, I'm gonna cross. You know what I mean? Or, I'm around an Indian guy, he probably is dodging deodorant this week, let me go this way, right? Let me hide my pennies, I'm around a Jew. This whole,
Hold on. Let's go back to that girl. If I drew her and posted on Facebook, my account would get deleted. like she's that kind of person. Like, if I just me attempting to draw this one, I would get flagged for racism. But come on, like, I love that meme too, dude. And you see it, it, man. You see people like that where it's like, bro, if I drew you right now, dude, they'd be putting me behind bar. It's illegal to draw her in Europe. Let's go back. We have a little bit left.
Deodorant this week. Let me go this way, right? Let me hide my pennies. I'm around a Jew. This whole wage gap myth, it's a lie. Women earn less because they deserve less.
I do. Women do not deserve less, but
yes, they do.
So that was a good one. That was good stuff. That was basically the highlight reel of Myron Gaines. I'm not sure if any more content came out today. Maybe it did, but I've been so blinded by what's going on. Fixing up the computer that I missed it. So if you guys think anything I should react to, send it. But it reminded me there was a hilarious one that I wanted to cover. And it's not topical, it's not news. It has to do with this father to the son of the guy who beat the absolute life out of the white dude in the wrestling arena. Keep this entirely separate. I just thought this was a hilarious moment. So this is Rampage Jackson's dad on the left, and obviously Rampage Jackson on the right. This is the father here of Raja Jackson, or Raha, whatever Caribbean language is required to speak his name. That is the dad of him, right? The famous guy. Obviously, I think Raha needs to go serve some time for what occurred. Obviously, I think he needs to be charged and punished. But keep that aside. I saw this. I was cracking up. But I watched it like 3 times in bed. I was cracking up. So I don't know if anybody watched this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll pull it back a little bit. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. This is funny. It's so funny. You just have to watch it. I'm not even going to give you no description. Just watch this, dude. I was dying.
Ever since I stopped eating carbs, man, my energy went up like this. Like, big energy like that. What happened? What happened?
Next time, bag up before you do all that, man, because you slapped the shit out of me.
Did I?
Man, you like to knock me out, son.
Don't, that's cap. I know I felt something, nigga. I thought you gave me a high five. Ever since I stopped eating carbs, man, my energy went up like this. Like, big energy like that. What happened? What happened?
Next time, bag up before you do all that, man, because you slapped the shit out of me.
Did I?
Man, you like to knock me out, son.
Don't, that's cap. I know I felt something, nigga. I thought you gave me a high five.
You mean that, Scap? I knew it felt... Dude. I promise you, I watched this like 5 times in a row in bed. Probably 20, to be honest. Dude. How do you not notice you just punched your dad in the mouth? Did I? Dude, I don't know. It got me good. It got me so good. I had to share it with you guys. I'm sorry. I thought it was hilarious. Maybe you didn't find that funny, but if you don't, go get a sense of humor. You need one. Let's see. What was the? Oh, okay. So obviously, yeah, Trump died. So let's cover this a little bit. Dude, it's so good. Okay. Okay. I think that's what got me too, Titan. The old timey like the black dude talk. I think that's what did it for me. So did Boondocks. It was good. So yeah. So obviously, trending item. Trump dying. He didn't show. He didn't have an appearance for like 3 days. Yep. Hard switch. Serious note. And it was being pushed by a lot of these insane kind of leftoids. Now, I'd only caught it, and it caught me off guard because I saw somebody quote tweeting the Evan Loves Wharfs account going like pretty heavy about it. And then when you type it in and you look it up, you see all of these tweets, dude, 57,000 likes. Let me just show you. Let's put it on stream. It'd be easier to do it like this, to be honest. So if I just go search, right? It's actually dangerous to search on X without a safety filter, but we're going to try it. What did I search up earlier? What was it? It was like Trump. Yeah, Trump dead. Look at this. So I just searched this, right? And so here's the one from the quartering. I think this was the photo from the golf event he was at earlier today that they were like using as proof. Let's find one here. So you see here, Captive Dreamer, don't care for him, but he's accurate here. He says, when the left celebrates some rumor of Trump's death, they mean you. They want you dead, your family dead, your children dead. That's it. And if I can find some, maybe they got rid of a lot more. But there were so many of these. that were basically like this one. Here's one. Me liking every Trump is dead tweet. 221,000 likes, had 4.6 million impressions. There were multiple other ones that were like that. There were some that was even saying like this one. Me liking every Donald Trump is dead tweet. 27,000 likes, almost 1 million impressions. There were a lot of them. There's this one. This is what I was trying to find. Liking Trump dead tweets and knowing he's a cockroach that can't be killed. 162,000 likes. I mean, obviously a lot of the same people are probably liking the same different posts, so it's not like add each one on together. But it's clear that there is obviously a strong sentiment of this, and I think that this matches the reality of what Sam Hyde says. You know, these people, they put on this big facade that, like, they care about other human beings and that they, they care for what, being on the right side of history. But in all reality, it's to use the language of the Heritage Foundation, it is a thin veneer of what is really just hatred towards anyone who is beautiful, who is successful, who is competent, who is intellectual. They are the party of the dysgenic. They are the party of the deformed. They are the party of the ugly. They are that. That's who they are. And you can tell it too. And so I think even if we were to remove, obviously, if I see somebody has a septum ring and I see somebody has a, blue hair, it's easy to go, they're a liberal. But I would take it a step further and say, even if I was to remove the septum ring, even if I was to remove the hair, I would still be right almost like 85, 90% of the time, determining whether somebody was a right-winger or a left-winger based on the way they appeared. And I think that is becoming more natural as an intuitive kind of mechanism because things are being separated on such basic grounds. Same way I think if your bomb goes off, you know who's an American. The same way I think if you could just look somebody at directly the way they present themselves, you will be able to tell a lot about them. But that is larger to say, a lot of right-wingers you look at are like men who are capable. And a lot of left-wingers you look at are men who are incapable. And this trend tracks very, very, competently through the rest of those things, especially if you go to women, right? You see an attractive female. Well, I guess maybe on the attraction side, maybe less so. But if you see a dysgenic female, right? You see a one that is like deformed or has a mustache or 1,000 inches of armpit hair. You know that female is liberal. You know that female wishes to kill children. You know that female basically hates everything about her life and wants to crush everyone around her and make them as miserable as she is. That's, these are some kind of the running themes there. But that was kind of the gist of the story. Obviously, Trump is dead. A lot of people wishing Trump was dead. And a lot of tweets talking about wishing that Trump was dead and pushing for more and more of that. Dude, bro, who the fuck is James Lindsay? Dog, bro, who is this? Who is this guy? Is this somebody I know? Is this the real James Lindsay? Dude, I can't stand James Lindsay. So it was trending, and then Aiden did, he confirmed it on Kick. I don't think we played that yet, did we? Let me put this on air. Which is crazy to think, like, why is Aiden well, he's Jewish, but so that tracks. So this is from Aiden Rojas. Let me put this on screen here. He got confirmation last night. So this is what kind of gave me a little bit of confidence that it was probably a bunch of BS. But again, yeah, I ended up just going to bed not caring that much. But here it is. Let's rip it a bit louder. Here we go.
All right. Hey, what the fuck you over there sleeping on,
guys? I just got confirmed. President Trump is okay by a very close.
What happened with Trump?
Nothing. Literally, nothing's wrong.
Oh.
So we're good,
bro.
So we gotta close up.
Yeah, this nigga ain't in froze, bro.
I just got a text saying you want to come to the White House. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. That's kind of all the base level confirmation that I felt like I really needed to, to feel confident about making that estimation there. Beyond that, though, I think if, a lot of the leftists just wishing, right, fantasizing about death. But that tweet was true. They wish it was you too. It's not just they wish it on Trump. They wish those things for you as well. So I think if we move away from there, though, let's get into the actual story. Let's get into the featured story. Forgive me, I was running over something. So the featured story, and again, just to rehash, we'll go from the top. Your government, if you don't know this by now, your government is owned by Israel. Israel, there's probably a bunch of different ways you can outline it, but I think the best way is probably like, Donald Trump has a leash. It has some length to it, but holding and wielding that leash is a combination of intelligence agencies, Benjamin Netanyahu, and everything that makes up the nation of Israel. this has heavy implications in terms of the intelligence agency that Jeffrey Epstein would have been working for, or alongside, or at least one of many. The current position of the Trump administration, as well as what we've gotten from, forgive me, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and many others who carry water for the nation that is not this one, is that there are no clear ties to any intelligence operation, that they don't believe he was involved in any kind of blackmail operation. Additionally, and beyond that, I think even Peter Thiel had comments in the past on Joe Rogan, which he's actually walked back since, but he basically said he thinks that Epstein worked for the United States. He had recent statements when Valor Venture was in the news for investing into a specific, we'll get into it. But ultimately, Peter Thiel has walked back what he was saying. He then said he doesn't think that Epstein was an intelligence asset. But we had 100,000 emails get leaked. By whom? I'm not sure. I don't know who leaked these emails, and it was hard getting them. Now, they were getting posted by some verified people like AF Posts and some trustworthy accounts that I follow, that I actually had to reach out to somebody because they'd said that the full breach wasn't allowed to be posted onto X. So I had to go to a few different Telegram channels and start gathering and piecing some things together. So here's what I have surmised from this story so far, and I will start from the beginning. Not from the beginning of the Epstein scandal, be here all night. So this is what I have. And this is what I kind of broke down from what the time that I did have that wasn't being annihilated from me. The emails were leaked, and what they showed was communications between Ehud Barak, former prime minister of Israel. He served from like 1999 to like 2001. So emails between the former prime minister of Israel and Jeffrey Epstein talking about who? Peter Thiel and Palantir, and his level of being an asset for them. Going from there, what they were discussing and what we have specifically in some of these emails is that Peter Thiel was actually, when Ehud Barak was asking Epstein about these connections, what we ended up getting was that Jeffrey Epstein already had his eyes on Peter Thiel as a potential asset. So in 2014 of May, these emails were exchanged, and Jeffrey Epstein let Ehud Barak know that he planned on meeting Peter Thiel in New York in May 9th or May 19th of 2014. So we have that email. From there, what they wanted to do is they wanted to discuss geopolitics and, you guessed it, surveillance technology. And from there, it explicitly says, and if I have the emails I put on screen, but you just trust me, guys. You trust Ben Shapiro, trust me. What it says in the emails is explicitly this. Peter Thiel is of, quote, huge potential to accelerate things by the sheer reputation he has, end quote. Now, for those who don't know, Peter Thiel has had contradictory statements, right, about Epstein. Now, we just mentioned this about the Rogan aspect, but he walked it back recently, again, because Valor Ventures has been highlighted. Now, where does Valor Ventures come in? So they use the name VV in the emails, and it's explicitly listed in the emails. They use the code, it says VV, Valor Ventures. It is a venture capital firm, again, owned by Peter Thiel. And it's also based in New York. So in 2016, which is about 2 years after these initial batch of emails were initially, written and discussed, more emails show that Andrew McCormick from Valor Ventures, who is also a longtime friend and partner with Peter Thiel, was very eager to learn about Carbine. But what is Carbine? Carbine is a new name for what was originally known as Reporty, which was basically, again, another one of these Israeli technology firms, specifically outlined as like an emergency response system, where it would be related to emergency response instances, and it would collect things like video, audio, geopolitical data, privacy data. So again, another one of these like kind of like data scraping technologies from Israel. So who is Andrew McCormick? So Andrew McCormick, and I'm sure you guys have seen this photo before. I'll put it on screen just for a second to refresh everybody. I'm sure you guys have seen this photo before, right? This is the PayPal Mafia. It is who these people are in the PayPal Mafia. Let me open this in new tab so I can zoom it in. So at the top, what you will see is who is that? It's Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. Oh my gosh, don't fight me. So slide over a little bit. And right there on the left-hand side is Andrew McCormick. McCormick, I found out, because I was able to do a little bit of digging on him, It has been working with Peter Thiel since when? 2001. When did Ehud Barak step down as prime minister? 2001. Again, coincidence that he turned down and he was looking for a new kind of way to get some money, possibly. But again, another point of coincidence and a pile of coincidences, if you will. So there you have it, these three individuals up here. Now keep in mind, who owns X, the platform on which Trump was dying, was trending on last night? Elon Musk. These are three names to keep your eyes on for sure. So I just wanted to let people know who Andrew McCormick was specifically. Now, moving on from Andrew McCormick, this other PayPal mafia individual, again, they're all tied together. Of course, they're all tied together. I'm sure they all live next to each other as well, too. Again, has been working with Peter Thiel since 2001. They had a short period where I believe Andrew McCormick ended up going off to San Francisco. He left New York. He ended up running a restaurant. It was a restaurant group that he ended up running for a couple of years, and then ultimately he came back and rejoined Peter Thiel in 2008. So they and I think they're still kind of at the hip with each other right now. So around this time, though, 2014, 2016, this is when Ehud Barak was focused on Reporty. Again, Reporty being this Israeli company, this technology firm that scrapes data around emergency response systems, very similar to surveillance technology in general. Also, what is up outside the Overton? Appreciate you, brother. Make sure I don't lose my spot. Ehud Barak served as the chairman on the board of Carbine. So again, Reporty became Carbine. Ehud Barak served on the board of which. Jeffrey Epstein contributed to Barak's initial investment. So Ehud Barak is actually listed as one of the initial investors into that project. But the funding was largely contributed to from Jeffrey Epstein. Now, beyond there, what you do have is from 2015 to 2016, on that later portion of that timeline, Epstein invested $40 million into Peter Thiel's Valor Ventures, which is now ballooned up into about $170 million. And then what happened later on, 2 years later, Peter Thiel returns the favor and invested $15 million into Carbine. Now, all of this points clearly in a direction that is not one that goes, oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein had no connections to Israel. Jeffrey Epstein had no connections to intelligence operations. On its surface, was obviously not true. And I think most people who follow the story know this is not true at all. Additionally, there are a few other portions of the email. Now, some of which, again, take this with a grain of salt, because we need to get a bit more of a stronger kind of, I guess, not to say that people who report on it aren't credible, but it would be nice to see a bit more of people talking about it to kind of get more information out there, because I didn't vet everything 100% myself, but I did spend time digging into it. So there's other portions where Ehud Barak, I believe it's Ehud Barak, in a message on the one time that he did fly on a plane with Jeffrey Epstein in Florida, he wanted to make sure that he could get it, or try to find a way in which he could get his private security to not be with him or not be present when he got on that plane. So there's a lot of things here that clearly point to the fact that Peter Thiel has a clear relationship with Jeffrey Epstein in terms of he's kind of a networker. He clearly pushed some buttons in Peter Thiel's favor in his direction, especially as it pertains to surveillance technology, as it pertains to Peter Thiel's main operation, which is building AI systems attached to a lot of this stuff. And so clearly they would be business partners in that aspect. And so I think when the U.S. administration comes out and says, no, there's no credible evidence that he would be involved in that, it is a flat out lie. And they're once again, maybe at this point, not even giving a shit, and forgive the language, but it is clear that they don't care anymore. It is so obviously fake on its surface that you would have to be literally less than 45 IQ. You would have to be almost in winter temperature IQs to believe what is being told to you at this point. So I wanted to give that breakdown in the emails. My overall thought process as I was going through that was, it is clear that Peter Thiel is the figure that Nick is making him out to be. he has his hands run deep in a lot of this. Now, what I would like to show you is I did catch from some random guy on X, believe it or not, I find a lot of random things on X. I saw an obsidian canvas this guy had made. Now, an obsidian canvas, for those who don't know, is basically like a storyboard. It's like a digital software you can use to storyboard things out. It's kind of like that crazy guy with the red string connecting the dots, but a digital version of it. And so I'll see if I can find the same image that I had here from the guy who had posted it, and it is here. Yes, and this guy is, he's a decent account actually. It's from 7Cs. Let me put this on screen here for you guys to take a look at this. This is a quote. So the Valor Ventures aspect actually went viral earlier this year. I believe this portion of the story went viral in May. But when you connect it to the Ehud Barak aspect, as well as the email showing the connections and why they were meeting up before then, it begins to make a bit more sense here. But you can see these storyboards here. Now, this one I think is maybe the one. No, let me find it. It's this one. So you can see here, Peter Thiel. Look at how insane this board goes. Now, what you'll see here is Valor Ventures. And if you go to Valor Ventures' website, even Zero is one of the companies that is listed on there, actually. So the depths of how deep this goes is so beyond the scope of like what I would be able to even do in a 24-hour period to prepare for. But the reality is clear. You're being lied to. I think most people understand that. But the scary aspect here goes to just how involved is Peter Thiel. Is Peter Thiel one of the main hands behind this, or was he recruited into this? Or maybe because so much time has passed, he has elevated to one of the more kind of stronger hands, the invisible hands behind the scenes, pushing things into power. Or is he just a figurehead who's a lot of people are running through? I think that is yet to be seen. But I think the level of which Peter Thiel is consequential to what is currently going on, and why a lot of this doesn't make sense when you don't understand why illegals aren't being deported, and why you're wondering why a 10-year clause for AI being centralized into the federal government is being shoved into the big beautiful bill. It makes a lot more sense. And especially when you view things from the framing of our country is here to serve Israel's interests, not the United States. The framing of why the government officials are doing what they're doing will begin to be a lot more clear. Now, I'm going to kind of probably put a pin in it there for that story, specifically, because that was basically as far as I was able to make it with what I had from what I was able to unveil. And if I missed anything about that story, for anyone who might be in chat who read a bit deeper, definitely just lay it on me. I am watching the chat here. And appreciate everybody for being here. Obviously, smash the like button if you're not gay. I think that goes without saying. But beyond there, though, we'll hit a couple some of these smaller stories here. But that is the big one. And that is the one that, and here's the other thing too. There are two elements to this. One, a lot of people think that the trans shooter may have been a setup, like a kind of like psyop aspect thing here, to take attention away from what was happening, what they knew was going to get ready to drop, or maybe they had the fix on it. And then there's the other element, which is from our good friend Esperon, who's in the chat there, saying maybe there's another event down the pipe to really kind of get eyes away from this story. Unsure about either of those aspects. But the trans shooter from Minneapolis did seem like it kind of came out of nowhere. And I am kind of getting in the habit, forgive me, I'm shaking the table. I am getting in the habit of when I see stuff like that, I immediately go, what else happened? This is my mindset. It goes, what else happened? Something else probably definitely happened. And whatever that story is probably more important or more significant than what I'm being, led to believe initially. So what I will say, let's go ahead and move away from that a little bit. I do appreciate everybody for being here. Let me go ahead and get rid of, oh my gosh, dude. It like turned on the sun. Like, dude, that screen was brighter than bright. What was on that screen? Oh my gosh, that one's even worse. Bald. That's what it looks like when you see a bald dude. Hey man, take your hat off. Oh, like that's what happens. Okay, so here's the other one. The other one that I didn't get too deep into looking into, but basically is making it out to seem that Wikipedia is under federal investigation for even having early life sections available. Let's explore this a little bit. I'm going to have it here. This is from AF Post again, and I think they're pretty solid aggregator for a lot of these news stories. This is what we are seeing. Now, this is from AF Post. Now, my big head is in the way. If I can move my camera, I'll go top corner. Top left corner. That seems to be the best spot. So this is what we have here from AF Post. Man, of course I'm blocking everything on there. Let me make it a little bit bigger. How about that? There we go. So Congress has placed Wikimedia under federal investigation for including criticism of Israel in Wikipedia articles. Like, dude, like listen to that, dude. Even a online encyclopedia that would have documentary and informational references that would more than likely clearly have differing opinions, some of which would be probably oppositional or just outright critical of things Israel has done, is insane. Now, what it says is they're requesting the information of individuals who contributed. They want names. They want to know who put these early life sections on these articles. Now, is it the early life section or is it going to be under the guise of Project Esther? They are taking another step again to the direction of basically eliminating any kind of digital footprint of anti-Semitism. You know, we're seeing this with Wikipedia. We're seeing this with what they're doing with the visas and the immigrants they want to allow here. They're screening for anti-Americanism, but when you look at what they used to say is anti-Americanism, it's basically anti-Semitism. It's did you say anything negative about Israel? Well, you're anti-American. What? But I promise you, go look at the release. Go look at the press release that they put out of the changes they're making. It's and they don't even have a strong idea of what, you know, an American, even us on the right wing, we're arguing right now, what is an American, right? Like this is a forefront argument. So how can it even make sense that you would put anti-Americanism there when we as a nation are struggling to define what an American is? It's nonsensical. So of course, the easy proxy for that is, well, America is basically Israel. So if they're anti-Israel, they're anti-America. That definition suits our needs. Now, was that the thought process? No. Their thought process was, well, we're owned by Israel. We would do anything. We would get on our knees. We will glaze Israel to our dying breath. And so they must defend it. But that is, again, another kind of, you raise your eyebrows at, you go to the story and you go, that's insane. But again, this is nothing new. This is continual. This has been happening constantly. Now, the other story, since I wasn't able to go too deep into that one, this one was from Ethan Klein, who apparently did claim the title of pedo troll. This is from AF Post again. Now they write, Israeli-American YouTuber Ethan Klein has confirmed that he ran a Reddit account called Pedo Troll, where he posted pro-Zionist and pedophilic posts. You can't make it up. Now here's what he says. Klein admits to managing the account, but claims to have been acting in character. Oh, it's satire, huh? Oh yeah, you were just trying to get those anti-Semites to be quick with their responses, huh? That's what it was, this big boy. So what does he write? So this is an Instagram story post from him. Now, normally I wouldn't read this slop, but seeing how this guy probably ultimately is a liar and is again another industry plant meant to shield and gatekeep influences for this one specific country, we will read what he has to say. And again, it's from Ethan Klein, not myself. Ethan Klein writes, my friends, I have a terrible confession to make. Yes, it is true. My 15-year-old Reddit account was identified by using a doxing website that lists a history of all emails and oh my God, he's leading with being a victim, and passwords that have been leaked in illegal data breaches. A post last night was made on the Snark subreddit by the person who obtained this information. With Reddit's help, this person was able to disseminate this illegally and maliciously obtained information. Dude. Bro, I don't even know if I can make it through this. In doing so, some terrible revelations were made. 1. Yes, my account username, pedotroll, made a few bizarre and edgy attempts at being funny. It was common on Reddit 15 years ago to create a thematically named troll account to post silly things from. The method was to have Redditors read something crazy, then check the username and realize it was a goof. You can see evidence of this on most of the posts made in character. Oh, so now we have to decide which posts are made in character and which posts weren't made in character, but it should be easy enough to know, right? Oh man, dude. And I'm just not going to read all that. The second point he says is, yes, there were a few posts of me being a Zionist Jewish supremacist, which includes me mostly arguing with someone calling Israel Nazi Germany. Dude. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, shocker. Wow. Ethan Klein is everything that most other people from that country end up being. So I don't put it past anybody if we see that Ethan Klein is going to Israel so he can avoid a certain charge here in America. I will not. Well, I shouldn't make accusations like that. That's actually an awful accusation to make about somebody without proof. So I disavow that and I pull that back. But he's a disgusting human being. He is a fat leftist. I don't know if he's fat anymore. He was on Ozempic there for a while, but either way, he's married to this weird IDF female. I don't even know what her name is. It's like Hegel. But I don't know what her name is, to be quite honest with you. And I'm not a big fan of her either. But just to bring you some news there, that Ethan Klein is exactly the piece of shit that you thought he was before that news. Now here's the other big one though. This is the big one. This is from Vox Veritas. It is an account I'm not familiar with. But it is a video clip of Aaron Cohen and Gideon AI. Now it's about a minute long, and I've not seen this literally anywhere else but this account. And so we're going to explore it a little bit deeper while we're here on air. But it's from Vox Veritas. I don't know the account at all. They have a decent amount of followers. They're followed by 1989. Here, I'll give them a follow. I'll give them a follow live on air. It says, I don't think people are paying close enough attention here. He's flat out saying that they're going to be able to stop you before you do anything based on anti-Semitic posts. Really listen to what he's saying. It's pre-crimes based on not liking Israel taking over your country. Let's go ahead and play this video clip. I won't interrupt. Let's get all these words in here.
Aaron Cohen, Gideon AI trailer. Let's play it very quickly.
Gideon is the first real-time AI system built to detect threats online before they become attacks. Anonymous networks flagging behavior, predicting danger. We don't get a second chance. Let's not miss the next one.
15 seconds, Aaron. You're talking about stopping mass shootings.
I'm sorry. Who is to the left of Aaron Cohen? Does anyone in the chat have an idea of what that man's title is? Would it be doctor? Would it be senpai? Would it be mentor? Who is this? Rabbit? I think we're getting close. Who's this? Oh, it's a pastor. Pastors wear tiny hats, right? Yeah. All right, here's the rest of it.
Attacks in Boulder before they start.
Trace, I'm building the first AI-driven threat prediction platform for law enforcement. They're flying blind right now. I've got an elite team of engineers from Palantir. I've got law enforcement agencies lined up.
He has what from who? Play that back. Play that back one more time. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have lied. I'm going to tear this clip apart.
They're flying blind right now. I've got an elite team of engineers from Palantir.
Elite team of engineers from Palantir. So it looks like Gideon is going to be an extension project, much like I believe Gotham was in the UK. And this is what Alex Karp is on video bragging about, which was the one that was bragging about quelling the descent of the far right in Europe. You can find that clip from Alex Karp. Hell, I can find it here in 2 seconds. So play it again. But this is what he said. Team of engineers from who? Palantir.
I've got law enforcement agencies lined up. 76% of these mass attackers posted some type of grievance online. This is America's early warning detection system. If you're a chief out there, reach out to me and get on my pilot. And if you're a VC, I'm about to open my seed round. Partner with me, and let's make America safe again and get cops the tools they need.
Dude. It's anti-Semitism, terrorism, Middle East Islamic radicalism, and we're doing it in the name of America. Like, you know, like what are we talking about, dude? And just for those who don't know, right? So this is Alex Karp, right? So partner to Peter Thiel with Palantir. I'll just type in Alex Karp far right. Watch it. Here it is, first one. Okay, and I believe it was Gotham. How does it say it in the title? Where's it at? I swear the name of the program was Gotham. Yeah, this is Nick posted. I'll look it up here in a second. Let's just let this clip play. Is this the full one? Yeah, it is. Let's let it rip, boys.
Look, we built PG, which single-handedly stopped the rise of the far right in Europe. We built Foundry, which was used to distribute the COVID vaccine and saved millions of lives globally. We built what we call multi-constellation, and what's often called the digital kill chain. And they're category-defining products. So when you deliver these products to the market, just honestly, people say this isn't going to exist, this isn't valuable, but then it changes the market. And then the market is the Palantir market. Now, that doesn't mean everyone in the world is going to buy our product, but it means most of the sensible people in the world are going to buy from the category we defined. Look, what we built.
And I promise you it's called Gotham, dude. Palantir Gotham. Yeah, is that it? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Gotham. Because so that's what it is. So sorry, I was silent for a little bit. I wanted to make sure I was right on that. Gotham is the predictive crime policing. Look at this sentence here. Palantir has a predictive crime policing software called Gotham, just like the movie Minority Report. And if you guys are familiar with that, it's basically pre-crime. It's thought crime. It's even if you think about doing something bad or illegal, it will detect it, it will read it in your eyes, and it will shut you down. Hopefully there's no music on this. Let's see what this is. What you guys think I look like? I'm not this gay. He don't even have any chest hairs sticking out. I'm just kidding. Kind of. Let's let it rip. What are you going to say?
Palantir partnered with the New Orleans Police Department in 2012 to create a secretive predictive policing program. Obviously, this partnership wasn't a typical government contract, which would have required public awareness and approval. Instead, it was presented as a charitable effort, part of Mitch Landrieu's NOLA for Life initiative. Because it was labeled as philanthropy, the agreement avoided public debate and city council approval. This meant a controversial surveillance program was used for years without the public or their representatives knowing, even though it could affect people's rights. Critics believe that this secrecy was deliberate to avoid public outrage. The program used Palantir's Gotham software to analyze social networks. It combined various data sources, including criminal records, gang affiliations, and ballistics from the New Orleans Police Department, as well as less formal data like social media activity and information from field interview cards collected during street stops. Gotham uses information to map connections between individuals, locations, vehicles, and weapons to predict who might commit or become a victim of violence. Remember when we talked about Minority Report? The analysis created a list of high-risk individuals. These people were then targeted by law enforcement through a program called Ceasefire. They're invited to meetings where they were offered social services, but were also warned of full prosecution if they reoffended. The major ethical problem with the New Orleans program was its reliance on biased data. Critics argue that this led to automated discrimination.
So that's kind of a gist of it, which I didn't even know that New Orleans had partnered with them. That's even more just insane. Because I thought Gotham was first tried over in the UK. I didn't realize it was getting trial runs in the United States before it ultimately found its way over. It might just be in the UK. I think it's in Europe in general too. So I might be misquoting it. I might be a bit more broad reaching than what I thought it was. But man, and there's a good comment in here. I saw an old Atlas video that beard was majestic. Yes, it was. I'm so sad right now. I'm so sad that I have to grow it all the way back out. I made one mistake and it destroyed me. I lost a bit of my soul that day. But I mean, this is kind of the reality of what we're looking at. I mean, this is the reason why I think it might not be connecting dots to a lot of people is because you have to wrap everything back together. And the reason why you have to wrap everything back together I would highly encourage, again, I think it's the best piece of content I probably ever made that's not a live stream or like just a set it and forget it YouTube video, is the little documentary I made about Project Esther. Because the goal of Project Esther is to make anti-Semitism not even just criminal, but like eradicating the idea almost itself entirely, or as close as you can basically get to eliminating the idea entirely, and using it basically as a metric of determination of how good of a person somebody is. Now, some of the stuff that's like a bit more far-reaching from it is the fact that you can basically be considered a terrorist if you are involved in the Hamas support network, right? Which is HSN. So Democracy Now! Had a great interview, which I added some clips in there from it too. But the ultimate goal is to eliminate it entirely and be able to essentially take away your rights. Now, there are a lot of desired effects out of there, but social media is also included. And when you think about Project Esther, how would they be able to implement such a far, broad-reaching solution without eliminating people's rights? Well, they don't care about your rights. And they're going to partner with some kind of extension program from Palantir like Gotham that is going to sift through this. Now, is Gideon that project? Possibly. Maybe Gideon is going to be the American version of that project, maybe less extensively so, but it is an AI threat detection system. And maybe that's the one they're going to use for the deportations. And they're basically going to attach it to all of America and sell it on the idea that is, if you wish to get these mass deportations that you have been demanding and don't need AI to get, you need to allow us to centralize AI and have these far-reaching violations of your rights in order to accomplish it. And I think JD Vance is going to be the guy who bridges that gap, who marries the concepts together, packages it in a nice way, and sells it to the American people. What do you do? What do you do? I had a conversation with my father earlier today, and he kind of asked that too. He asked, what do you do? Like, what can we do? And I do think at a certain point, there is a line. There is a line that I think if you know, and take it from the Christian perspective, right? It is worse to be someone who knows and acknowledges Jesus and rejects him than it is someone to be unaware and you don't know who Jesus is and live a life of sin because you're unaware. And I stretch that concept to say, how much more obvious does it need to be for everyone to know that you are being ruled by elites who are protecting and also in of themselves are abusing children, being blackmailed, and doing things outside the interests of this country? There has to be some point where you can't go, I knew all of that, and I said nothing, I did nothing, and I didn't change any aspect of my life to get that way, or to alter any changes. This is the kind of the same way where I think, faith and works are combined, right? This is a big contentious thing between Christianity, right? Faith alone or works, or faith and works. But if I truly knew Jesus, right, and I said, I believe I'm saved, and I believe what is in the Bible is true, I believe what Jesus has said is true. I mean, you can't. How many times is be bold? Do not be afraid is mentioned. What do you fear, right? And that's kind of what I wrestle with. I think we've kind of crossed that line. We know, and we everyone here knows, right? For the most part. We have people like Bob in here who, Lord help them, everybody deserves a second chance. But the overall aspect here is there is a line where you go, we have to do something greater than just sitting here and going, okay. We have to figure out what these next actionable steps are. Because I can't sit idly by and know that I am being ruled, dictated by, and being governed by people who abuse elites. And I think that's kind of the question. And now I think Hook said it. We've already kind of across that line. We're past that line. I think we are too. And that's something I kind of wrestle with, right? Is how far should I take it? Should I be worrying about things like, not putting myself a big target on my back? And same thing with all of you guys, right? Same thing with you guys. How far do you go before it begins to actually kind of threaten your livelihood with your families? But is that something that you should be worried about when the end goal is the reality that if you don't do anything about it now, you're just passing that burden on to your children? And how different then does that make you from the boomers who basically got us in the situation we're in now because they didn't do anything either? Right? And they kind of aided it along. But those are kind of some of the thoughts that I rested with overall in terms of that. And that's basically where we are with things. Now, I didn't plan to go long. 2 hours is basically as far as I'd normally take anything. And then with not having much time to actually prepare, it's basically as much of a show I can give you today over those individual topics. And shout out to, again, Josh and Zeb Boykin, Outside the Overton, all of those guys, they're doing great work getting connections through. Again, we have some interviews lined up coming down the pipe. I'm not a good like casual streamer. I just like enjoy doing, obviously exploring, concepts and news stories and such. And so expect a bit more of that. I'll get some more videos out as well too. We're going to take this because we're going to make this go full time. And one thing I want to extend to you guys as well too, because there's some other things I'm thinking about as well in terms of like production, merchandising, business, branding. And I got to worry about taxes and how we got to figure out what to do with taxes as well. That there are, and I want people to know this too. I have zero ego with any of this stuff. And largely I think you should understand the way I'm kind of putting myself out here. Like I don't care about money either, or like what it's going to do to my reputation. I care about what's right and what's true. And I try to be as honest as I possibly can be. But on those notes, the Discord is open. I don't think the Discord is in the description of the video because I was rushing today. So if any of the mods have that link they can grab and just push out real quick, I appreciate that. I would love people to join. You'll get banned if you're gay, but it is what it is. The thing is I want people to be more critical with me. And I hope I'm not too intimidating to people that they feel like they can't share with me. Obviously, Bob will tell me whatever the hell he wants, but I also want people to be critical with me. Tell me what you think I did wrong. Tell me what I did poorly. What should I improve? Your suggestions. Like, what do you think makes the show good? What do you think makes it bad? Because I feel like I don't have a strong enough relationship with a lot of the people that are in the community. It kind of did grow really fast. And here I am with 15K subscribers. And I feel like I really don't know much about the people who are here. So I just wanted to make sure I extended that to you guys. Because I always want to improve. I want to be the best product. And I want Tim Pool to be relevant. I really do. And as I was thinking about it too, with these interviews and aligning a lot of the stuff up, the common trope is we need a left-wing Joe Rogan. Well, the reality is Joe Rogan's left-wing, and he's never going to be the right-wing Joe Rogan. And what we do need a right-wing Joe Rogan, right? We do need somebody who will push things a bit more. And not to say like I think I could ever reach the highest heights that Joe Rogan did. That's kind of a little bit of what I would like to shape that to be, and do a bit more like a new age Joe Rogan. Exactly. Tim Who, love that one. So with that, I think that's probably where I'll put a pin in it. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Let me just scroll up here. Oh, that is the other thing. There was a major algorithm change, on YouTube. They're pairing Gemini AI with their ATS, which is their just automatic tracking system. And so there's two main kind of updates with that. One, you may notice a bit of a difference in terms of my some of the photos I use for the videos, and that is because Gemini AI is being paired with YouTube in order to help uprank videos from creators who don't have many subscribers by using Gemini to basically scan frame by frame by frame by frame every aspect of the video, and if it can connect the topic to the face to top Google search results, it'll boost the video. So you might see me using a bit more of kind of very basic and casual and common photos. Can you show me your right to not be spied on or prove that it exists? Can you show me your right to not be spied on or prove that it exists? Honest question. Interesting. Okay. I didn't understand what that guy was saying for a second. Anyways, and the second aspect of the algorithm change is that there's now, with the Gemini AI system, there's an added emphasis beyond likes and even subscribes. I think likes are still the top one, but subscribes are almost meaningless anymore. It's positive comments. So now the AI system is running through and reading the comments, and it is determining if they're positive or not. Now, I've noticed this on the back end because it's giving me a lot more of these autofill responses. So on my back end, when I see comments, I used to only see it when it was like very explicit. It was like, wow, great video. Some of them are now like, they're a bit more complex and they're having auto-filled responses that are a bit more beyond like, thank you, or I appreciate it, which is making me think, yeah, clearly it's already looking at a lot of these comments and reading them. So positive comments, just obviously if you wanted to post and help me out here on the channel, just wanted to give you that tidbit of advice. And with that, we have, we're going to have Biggest Dickus on September 1st. We're going to have Dan Bauer on September 3rd. And we are going to have 1989 on September 4th. Every single one of those should be at 6 p.m. And looking forward to also trying to reach out to Beardson. We'll get him on as well too. But with that, I won't keep you guys too long. I appreciate everybody for being here. Even Bob, obviously he adds engagement to this side of things. Okay, well, I guess I'll stay here because it's super chat. I'm not going to leave it now. Super chat here from Comrade Blackpill, and I do appreciate you, brother. He follows me on X, and he does a lot of boosting on the post. I appreciate that. And he writes, those are real questions you are raising. I think the Groypers need an actual political platform. Nick has been moving in that direction, like healthcare, housing, jobs, etc. Right. And that's where we have to go. Like, this is one of the main aspects. And I bring it up all the time with a lot of the guests that I've had recently, which is like, we don't have a Peter Thiel. We don't have an Elon Musk. There's no one in the dissident right who's like got billions of dollars, because you can't exist as a billionaire, and be a strong forward-facing proponent of dissident right ideas or be against the system in that way. Just like, that's just clearly not how the system operates. So that's one element. We got to do more actionable things. And I think, I think Spangler was right when I had that last interview with him. And again, thank you very much for the super chat, brother. I think he's very spot on when he says things along the lines of, men have to bite their tongue and go into their local branch of politics. It is required. Like, we have to do these things. But beyond local stuff, Nick is spot on about the polymath aspects. We have to be elite human capital. We need to make it so that it's hard for the employer to not pick us as their first choice candidate, even knowing what we post on social media, right? Like, that's the level you have to get to. And that's why I think there's a lot of individuals. Oh, another one. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. We have to really work on ourselves. This is why I like having Darkcell on, because I like to not say I oppose the incel or what their frame of mind, because obviously a lot of these females are just insane and it's broken and it's sad, and I can feel the despair from these men. But that the idea should be similar to Andrew Tate, but beyond that, a bit more comprehensive, is no, we need to actually improve ourselves. We need to be the most ridiculously strong, intelligent, well-read, not socially awkward men as humanly possible. And that's why I will still hold true. I do think that every man is very capable of an easy one individual convert. And that is ultimately the woman that you marry. Every man's basically kind of guaranteed he'll be able to convert one person. And that is, his wife. And ultimately it should be. If you get married to a woman and you can't convince her of your logic and reasoning, I mean, for one, why are you married to her? But those are elements. And obviously family building and and this movement becomes a flash in the pan if 85% of us don't have kids. If 85% of us don't have these if our presence isn't being felt in more ways than just this corner on the internet. And so, that's with that, I push for men bettering themselves. And you don't even have to have a woman in mind, but you need to be elite level capital. You need to be at the highest level that you can possibly obtain, and maybe even beyond what you think that you can obtain. Now let's go to the next one here. This is from Donnie Brook. He says, join the Discord to complain about the lack of chest hair. Yeah. I like how I wore sweatshirts the last couple of days since it's been cold in here. I'm all of a sudden I'm hiding my chest hair. No, chest hair will be back as soon as the temperature goes up. That is a promise. It's a guarantee, actually. But thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Chief Trumpster. Interesting. I don't even know if I have him on my list, actually. I'll check if he's on my list. If he's not, I will add him, and I will definitely reach out to him for sure. And I'll look at this one from Comrade Blackpill again. He says, I think the biggest weakness of the dissident right, forgive me, I'm having trouble talking, is an utter lack of demands that appeal to the grim reality of working class families. And I'll tell it to you like this. There's a reason why my interview with Jeff Younger is suppressed. there is a very strong concerted effort to ensure that family court stays exactly the way it does. And this is largely the subject. Anyone who hasn't listened to that interview with Jeff Younger, you got to go listen to it. I mean, this is the Republican Party. Even if Israel wasn't a thing, the Republican Party would be evil for their clear omission of wanting to deal with family court. And that is largely because the majority of men, Republicans and conservatives who are in the space, who are mainstream, who are gatekeepers, are themselves on leashes of which their wives hold the chains of. It's got to stop. There's no reason you should look at anything regionally in the courts and you go, wow, this a 94% win rate for women and a 6% win rate for men. Come on, dude. That's bullshit, man. And good call out for Matt Walsh, man. That's exactly what other thing should he be approaching right now? Just get married. Just this ignorant, like, just get married. Like, dude, leading men to their death is what that is. And that is extremely, extremely irresponsible. I hope some of that gets through to Matt, because again, what would be it's so practical. It's so pragmatic. It's such an easy thing that you can go, look at family court, look at these statistics. Here's what we needed to fix it. It's easy. It's just like someone just needs to do it. The reality is there's no willpower to do it because men who have the ability to make some changes with it or make some noise about it aren't willing to threaten their own sexual access to their wives by pissing them off because they're cucked anyways. It's an evil world we live in, man. Like, shout out to Future, man. And I think with that, I will go ahead and probably wrap it up. I feel bad because there's some people in here compared to all the other previous interviews, but I do appreciate it very much. And thank you guys for all the super chats. As always, I appreciate it very much. Sorry this wasn't as robust and comprehensive as it normally is. Getting back in the swing of things. Maybe I can show you. I don't want to damage anything. I'll post pictures of the PC in the Discord. It's new. It's brand new. It looks pretty. Looks like it can play some Fortnite. It's good stuff. But with that, I got to go find a piece of paper so I can write the N-word down. I need to get that out of my system a few times. And we need to deport Kash Patel. Pam Bondi needs banned from public life forever. And with that, again, I couldn't articulate with as much as possible how much I appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys next week. We'll be back. We'll be better. And I got a strong computer. We'll hit it hard. Appreciate that, gentlemen. And as always, Christ is King. Take care. Be safe. Take care of your families. Be the men that God made you to be. Have a good rest of your night. Take care, everybody.
What's good, everybody? This is Atlas Thug.
As much as we have, it's currently a media blackout right now. It's about a 10-minute video here. Get the libertarians out of this party, dude.
Part of a new series I'm going to be running called Bot or Not.
I grew up as a white man, and you're the exact opposite, you know?
It's time we have a difficult conversation about race.
40 IQ points it needs to think about what is being told to you.
Most people are just blatantly apathetic to what goes on around in their surroundings, let alone this play.
A trans woman's penis make you gay?
Can I define to answer that comment?
The dating market is for men your age. I'm not a misogynist. I'm a sexist. Right. Like for example, like as a white man, I can go out and I could go right here in Columbus and scream the N-word as loud as I wanted to because I have that privilege. Those who would sacrifice a little freedom for a little convenience serves neither.
Titan says, Browns should be for whites. We were just trying to help them run a better empire.
Hey, true. But she's straight up, she's like, stock market. She's like, bro, like, I can't even buy a fucking house. Like, and, probably doesn't help that half the comments are, how are you not banned on YouTube? Man, how is this guy? How's this guy not banned on YouTube? It's like, yeah, I'm sure YouTube probably picks up on those things. And they're probably wondering why so many people are saying that, And all these top brass pundits who have some kind of association or relationship with Epstein, it's getting to the point where you got to think like I'm about to go look at my residential history and be like, did I was next to Epstein for like some time. Like, man, everyone was playing let's have some relation to Epstein. And then you go, oh, actually, no. This is because the administration is all wrapped in together with it themselves. And I said this maybe about a year ago. You know, what if Christianity wasn't in such a cucked position that what if Andrew Tate, like Tristan, would have went to a Christian position? Fell for it again award, number 1 right here. And you know what? I can't even make fun of the audience because I fell for it too. And that's probably what I'm most pissed about. He's huffing some extreme copium. Oh yeah, sister, you definitely owned him. Hey, can I see you after tonight? You know, it's like that's that's what you're competing up against because or bad jacketing him and calling him a weird little gay.
Is this like alt-right Wolf's husband? What am I listening to?
Yeah.
Okay, stop it. This guy's gonna get into statistics, stuff like that.
Oh, no, statistics, not
So-
we don't do statistics.